Hello, my name is Linda Peters. Master Gardener Anna Diddle and I have prepared this presentation to help you keep your garden looking good throughout the gardening season. We're going to start this presentation by showing you a couple pictures of some really pretty gardens that we can all aspire to. I found this picture of a vegetable garden that I thought was just so dreamy and wanted to share it with you. Gardens don't have to be too complicated. This garden, a small vegetable garden instead of a front lawn, is really nice looking. Your neighbors would be pleased to see it. Just like real estate, it's all about location. Place your garden in a part of the yard where you'll see it. Out of sight, out of mind definitely applies to gardening. If you can see it, you will be more likely to spend time in it. Follow the sun. Misjudging sunlight is a common pitfall. Pay attention to how sunlight plays through your yard before choosing a spot for your garden. Remember, full sun is 6 to 8 hours. Choose the right plants. It's important to select plants that match your growing conditions. Our mantra is right plant for right place. This means putting sun-loving plants in the sun and shade-loving plants in the shade. Plant appropriate. Do your homework and pick varieties that grow well where you live. On the coast, you may look into plants more tolerant of salt spray. Don't buy a plant if the leaves are pale. Avoid plants with yellowing or brown leaves, or if the leaves look brown and dry along the edges. Signs of a healthy plant include a full bushy growth habit. Avoid long, leggy plants, and instead choose compact, sturdy plants.
One of the most important factors contributing to a successful garden is fertile and workable soil. It is recommended to do a soil test every 3 years. The results of the tests will determine the pH of the soil and provide guidelines for adding amendments such as lime, fertilizer, and organic matter. Perennial flowers, ground covers, and grasses generally do not need a lot of fertilizer, and many perennial experts recommend no fertilization when plants are in a healthy garden soil. However, if your soil is composed primarily of sand with little organic component, your plants will most likely benefit from routine light fertilization. If you're growing plants and veggies in containers, it is recommended that you do periodic applications of fertilizers. Proper watering is key to keeping your garden looking nice. The key is to water deeply to about 2 to 3 inches deep. And the best way to tell if your plants need watering is to push a finger an inch down into the soil.
Applying a layer of mulch that is 2 to 3 inches deep around each plant will help you conserve moisture. It also helps reduce weeds by blocking out the sun. As the gardening season moves towards fall, sometimes blank spaces appear as annuals have died off. Add some colorful blooming plants like chrysanthemums, ornamental cabbage, and ornamental kale to fill in and brighten up your space. A few pumpkins are also a good choice. Containers are another option for filling blank places up in your garden. You have a lot of options on types of containers and colorful flowers that you can put in them. Weed. Weeds can suffocate the roots of your healthy plants, harbor pests, and become an unsightly nuisance. Weeds take up space and resources that your plant could be using. So weeding your garden can keep it healthy and growing and give you something to do on a dreary day. Deadheading has several benefits for flowering plants in a landscape. It extends the bloom period, maintains garden plant health, and removes the seed source of beautiful flowering plants that have the potential of becoming a weedy mess for years to come. Flowering plants are capable of producing hundreds or even thousands of seeds each year. Deadheading these species before the seeds are produced alleviates the problem of unwanted seedling germination. While not all plants, when deadheaded, will rebloom or continue blooming. Many do. Plants like zinnias will continue to bloom pretty much throughout the season as long as you cut off the dead flowers. Some plants, like these hardy geraniums, deadheading won't improve the flowering, but it will improve the plant's appearance. Many gardeners pass on the tedious job of deadheading and wait until later to prune back the whole plant. They remove seed heads and old leaves when the plant becomes unsightly. This is what I do with these hardy geraniums in my garden. I prune back the old leaves to expose a flush of new growth at the bottom of the plant, and I leave the leaves intact for winter. In the spring, I'll remove the old leaves and allow the new growth to grow through and cover the old foliage. Shrubbery like the Weigela benefit from being pruned back for shaping or to prune out any dead material. I usually do this in the late winter, early spring. Irises become overgrown at different points in time as their rhizomes continue to spread in the garden. You can usually tell they're getting old and need to be divided when you start having less blooms on the stalks. Usually in the end of August, 1st of September, I'll dig the rhizomes out. I will divide them up and let them dry for a day or two, discarding anything that looks like it's diseased, and replant. All the bearded irises can benefit from this process. This is another example of a perennial that will benefit by being divided as the hostas continue to grow their rhizomes together rather than spreading out in many cases. This is another one. You can really divide these either in the spring or the fall. I like to do them early fall and let them grow new roots for the winter. Fall's the best time to renovate your lawn, also to fertilize your lawn. Get a soil test either during August or early September and amend the soil based on that soil test. Garden tools should be cleaned to control disease and prevent transferring any bacteria or dangerous element into your garden. To disinfect your tools with alcohol, you can either wipe or dip them in a solution that is 70 to 100% alcohol. Ethanol and isopropyl alcohol are widely available at a variety of stores.
Pests can get out of control very quickly, so be on the lookout. Check your plants, shrubs, flowers, and trees for diseases and insect pests throughout the growing season. It is important to learn how to distinguish the good or beneficial insects from bad insects. If you have pests, one way of getting rid of them is to handpick them or use traps and lures to get rid of them. If using pesticides, make sure that you read and follow the label instructions carefully. Vegetable gardens require time and effort to keep them healthy and productive. Be on the lookout for pests and insects and make sure that you water and fertilize as needed. If growing vegetables like cucumbers, be on the lookout for diseases like powdery mildew and downy mildew. Make sure that you trim diseased leaves and yellowing leaves to keep the plants productive. If growing squash, check for vine borers and diseases such as powdery mildew or downy mildew. Vegetables in containers can be used to enhance areas and fill in spots. They also add color to blank spaces. Here are other examples of veggies grown in containers. Just like plants in the ground, make sure that you monitor for pests and water as needed. Containers like these look attractive in the landscape but they also enhance garden areas and decks. This is yet another example of veggies in containers that can add interest in a patio or a deck. So, in summary, you will be rewarded with a beautiful and healthy garden if you place the right plant in the right place. Make sure that you do a soil test every 3 years as recommended and prepare your soil. Also, make sure that you monitor, ID, and control pests. As always, you'll have to weed, and weed. But very important, make time to enjoy the garden. Thank you.